activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as food activities karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Next, we will move on to Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who are joining the call today?
हरे कृष्ण भगवती वसुधा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीतिदासी फ्रॉम चालू हरे कृष्ण
Priti Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind Prabhuji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. All glories Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Rana.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Devidasi, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati. Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. This is Vanishri from Bangalore, India. My humble pranams to you and all the devotees on the call. Thank you for this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vanishri Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Valli from Naperville, Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Valli Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji Dandvat Pranam Srila Prabhupada ki jai Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shamaguri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shamaguri Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. This is Bala Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Bala Vrinda. Thank you so much for joining. Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, I welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam session. Today we are really fortunate to have His Grace Keshavanand Prabhu ji. to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam from 5.19.21 onwards. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Tiffany Mataji to give brief introduction on Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. His Grace, Dr. Keshavanand Prabhu was a professional doctor for many years, and he is now a practicing monk. For the last 20 years, he has conducted extensive research and authored books in the field of science and spirituality. He feels the rift between science and spirituality must disappear to bring peace to the world. If spirituality is a superstition and myth, science is materialistic and atheistic. A new approach to life is needed today that can bring the best of both. Science must re-embrace spirituality and be humble to admit its defects, flaws, and ignorance, and spirituality must base itself on sound, scientific, and rational ideas. Dr. Keshavanand Prabhu has studied both Vedic and Western philosophy. Besides learning Sanskrit, he has also learned Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, and Kannada to learn about other traditions. His persistent endeavor in the field of science and spirituality has enabled him to come up with seminars on diverse topics like science and the Vedas, mind and machines, science fails to explain life, consciousness and beyond, etc., which he has presented in various colleges in India, Europe, and America. Under the guidance of his spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami, he has also started a Gurukul, a traditional system of Vedic education in Punjab, India, where children learn the ancient Vedic culture and values. He has also started a farm community. The community has a traditional way of living with mud huts and thatched roofs. There are also cows there, and of course, farming. The communities will set a model for the world to show how to live a life based on the principle of simple living and high thinking. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for that brief introduction on Prabhuji. Let us wait. Prabhuji has not joined, I think. Till then, if anyone would like to introduce themselves, they can introduce.
Or we can read the verse, Mataji.
Sure, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 19th chapter, 21st verse. Etad eva hi deva gayanti aho amisham kim akari shobhanam prasanna esham svid uta swayam hari yair janma labdham rishu bharata jire mukunda seva upayikam sprihahinam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Since the human form of life is the sublime position for spiritual realization, all the demigods in heaven speak in this way. How wonderful it is for these human beings to have been born in the land of Bharatavarsha. They must have executed pious acts of austerity in the past, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself must have been pleased with them. Otherwise, how could they engage in devotional service in so many ways? We demigods can only aspire to achieve human births in Bharatavarsha to execute devotional service, but these human beings are already engaged there. Purport. These facts are further explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 9th chapter 41st verse. Bharata bhumi te haila manushya janma ka yara janma sartakari Sarthakara Kari Kara Para Upakara. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatavarsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. There are many facilities in India, Bharatavarsha, for executing devotional service. In Bharatavarsha, all the acharyas contributed their experience, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally appeared to teach the people of Bharatavarsha how to progress in spiritual life and be fixed in devotional service to the Lord. From all points of view, Bharatavarsha is a special land where one can very easily understand the process of devotional service and adopt it to make his life successful. If one makes his life successful in devotional service and then preaches devotional service in other parts of the world, people throughout the world will actually benefit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, I'm trying to reach out to Keshavanand Prabhuji.
Yes.
He's not picking
up. Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Can we do Kirtan, Mataji?
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Krishna
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Ram Ram,
Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Putale Samati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Putale Samati Radhanath Maharajati Namine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Seva Sati Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Shri Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Shri Shri Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Shri Shri Radha Vrindavaneshwari Radha Vrindavaneshwari Radha Vrindavaneshwari Radhe Radhe Shri Shri Radha Gokula Nandana Radha Gokula Nandana Radha Gokula Nandana Radhe Radhe Shri Shri Radha Dwarkadish Radha Dwarkadish Radha Dwarkadish Radhe Radhe Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Radhe Shri Shri Radha Govinda Shri Shri Radha Govinda Shri Shri Radha Govinda Shri Shri Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Nadiya Godru में नित्या नंद महाजन नदिया गोध्रु में नित्या नंद महाजन पाती आचे नामाट जीवे रे कारण श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है प्रभु ए आज्ञा भाई मांगी यही भिक्षा बोलो कृष्णा भजो कृष्णा करो कृष्णा कृष्णा बोलो कृष्णा भजो कृष्णा करो कृष्णा कृष्णा श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है नादिया गोध्रु में नित्या नंद महाजन पातियाचे नामाट जीवे रे कारण अपराध शून्य होय लेह कृष्ण नाम अपराध शून्य होय लेह कृष्ण नाम कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है नादिया गोध्रु में नित्या नंद महाजन पातियाचे नामाट जीवे रे कारण कृष्ण रे संसार कोरो छोड़ी अनाचार कृष्ण रे संसार छोड़ो कोरो छोड़ी अनाचार जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है नादिया गोध्रु में नित्यानंद महाजन पातियाचे नाम हट जीवे रे कारण नादिया गोध्रु में नित्यानंद महाजन पातियाचे नाम हट जीवे रे कारण श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है प्रभु रे आज्ञा भाई मांगी यही भिक्षा प्रभु रे आज्ञा मांगी भाई मांगी यही भिक्षा बोलो कृष्णा भजो कृष्णा करो कृष्ण शिक्षा बोलो कृष्णा भजो कृष्णा करो कृष्ण शिक्षा अपराध शून्य होय लेह कृष्ण नाम कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण कृष्ण रे संसार कोरो छोड़ी अनाचार जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है नादिया गोध्रु में नित्या नंद महाजन नादिया गोध्रु में नित्या नंद महाजन हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे शिल प्रभुपाद शिल गुरुदेव की जय श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ की जय 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 नित्यानंदा जय जय गौरंगा श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलराम सुभद्रा रानी की जय. Our Vrinda Gopi, little Bal Vrinda Gopi will sing such a nice bhajan. Bal Vrinda beta, Bal Vrinda. Bal Vrinda beta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sharanagati. O he Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagara, Idase Karuna Kari. O he Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagara, Idase Karuna Kari. Diya pada chaya sodare amara, diya pada chaya sodare amara, तुम्हारा चरण गौरी, तुम्हारा चरण गौरी. ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुरा, दयरा सागरा, इदासे करुणा करी. छगवेगे तोमी छकदो से सोदी, छकगुणा देहो दासी. छगवेगे दोसी छगदो से सोदी, छय गुणा देहो दासी. छय सत संगा दही हो अमार, छय सत संगा दही हो अमार. बोसिया छे संगर आसे, बोसिया रे संग आसे. ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुरा, दयरा सागरा, इदासे करुणा करी. एकाकी अमारा नाही पाए बल, हरिनाम संकीर्तने. एकाकी हमारा नहीं पाए बल, हरिनाम संकीर्तने. तुम्ही कृपा करी शतबिंदू दिहो, तुम्ही कृपा करी शतबिंदू दिहो. कृष्ण नाम धन प्राण, कृष्ण नाम धन प्राण. ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुरा, दयरा सागर, इदासे करुणा करी. कृष्ण से तुम्हारा, कृष्ण दीते पारा, तुम्हारा सकती आछे. कृष्ण से तुम्हारा, कृष्ण दीते पारो, तुम्हारा सकती आछे. अमी तो कंगाल, अमी तो कंगाल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोले. अमी तो कंगाल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोले. भाईतावा पाछे पाछे, भाईतावा पाछे पाछे. ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर, दयरा सागर, इदासे करुणा करी. ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर, दयरा सागर, इदासे करुणा करी. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. श्री प्रभुपाद श्री गुरुदेव की जय, श्री राधा गोपीनाथ की जय. जय जय नित्यानंद, जय जय गौरांग. बाल वृंदा बेटा, कैन यू प्लीज सिंग भजन?
Mataji, can I sing an Ashtakam, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Maybe Balvrunda is not here.
Oh, Mataji, I'm here.
Balvrunda came.
Beta, go, beta.
But Mataji can sing, Mataji. Anita Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. If Balrunda wants to sing, let her go ahead, Mataji. Okay. Hare Krishna. So this is Radha Ashtakam, which is given by Krishnadasa Kaviraja. Kumkumakta kanchanabja garvahari gaurabha पीतनांचिताब्ज गंध कीर्तिनिंदि सौरभा भल्लवेश सोनु सर्व वांछितार्थ साधिका मय्यमात्मपाद पद्म दास्य धास्तु राधिका कौरविंद कांति निंदि चित्रपट्ट शाटिका कृष्ण मत भृंग केली पुल्ल पुष्प वाटिका कृष्ण नित्य संगमार्थ पद्म बंधु राधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका सौकुमार्य श्रेष्ठ पल्लवालिकीर्ति निग्रहा चंद्र चंदनोत्पलेन्दु सेव्य शीत विग्रहा स्वाभिमर्श भल्लवीश कामताप भादिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका विश्ववन्द्य यौवताभिवन्दिता पिया रमा रूपनव्य यौवनादि सम्पदा न यत्समा शीलहार्दलीलया च सायतोऽस्ति नादिका मह्यमात्मपाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका रासलास्य गीत नर्म सकलालि पंडिता प्रेम रम्य रूप वेश सद्गुणालि मंडिता विश्वनव्य गोपयोषे तालितोऽपि यादिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका नित्य नव्य रूप केली कृष्ण भाव संपदा कृष्ण राग बंद गोप यौवतेषु कंपदा कृष्ण रूप वेश केली लग्न सत्समाधिका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका श्वेद कंप कंटकाशो गगदादि संचिता मर्ष हर्ष वामतादि भावभूषणांचिता कृष्ण नेत्र तोषी रत्न मंडनालि धाविका मह्यमात्म पाद पद्म दास्य दास्तु राधिका या क्षणार्ध कृष्ण विप्र योग संततोदिता नेक धन्य चापलादि भाव वृंद मोदिता यत्न लब्ध कृष्ण संग निर्गता किलादिता मह्यमात्मपादपद्म दास्यदास्तु राधिका अष्टकेन यस्त्विनेन नौति कृष्णवल्लभं दर्शनेऽपि शैलजादि योषिधालिदुर्लभां कृष्णसङ्गनन्दितात्मा दास्य सेदुभाजनं तं करोति नन्दितालि सञ्चयाशु साजनम् मह्यमात्मपादपद्म दास्यदास्तु राधिका मह्यमात्मपादपद्म दास्यदास्तु राधिका मह्यमात्मपादपद्म दास्यदास्तु राधिका मह्यमात्मपादपद्म दास्यदास्तु राधिका. Hare Krishna. Mataji, should I sing one more?
Shama Gauri Mataji, did you get a chance to talk to Prabhuji, Mataji?
Anita Mataji, you can sing one more bhajan, Mataji.
Yeah, okay. Mataji, then take Vrindavan Ashtakam. Yeah, Vrindadevi Ashtakam, Mataji. Can you share, please? Prabhuji has come.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Actually, I was checking since morning. I thought because you had already informed, but there was no notification, there was no link, so we thought the schedule has been changed. So, anyways, we have contacted Prabhuji, and Prabhuji will be joining in a short. Prabhuji has already joined.
Hare Krishna. Obeisances. Glories to Srila Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association in this Bhakti Sangha conference call. I hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. You can please take over. Today's Bhagavatam 5.19.
5.19.21. I was not informed on time, so I didn't know whether there was a class or not.
It's okay, Prabhuji. We're having some kirtan.
Okay. Just go. 5.19.21. So have you read this?
Yes, Prabhuji. Translate purport done.
Yeah, somebody can read. I don't know. Somebody can 5.9.21 because I need to. It was. No, what's what.
Do we read it again, Prabhuji?
Yeah, it's good because I need to know because I didn't know what words was, so I can also hear.
Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 19, Text 21. Etad eva hi deva gayanti. Aho amisham kim akari shobhanam prasanna esham svit uta swayam hari ye janma labdham rishu bharata jire mukunda seva ayupaikam sprihahina. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Since the human form of life is the sublime position for spiritual realization, all the demigods in heaven speak in this way. How wonderful it is for these human beings to have been born in the land of Bharatavarsha. They must have executed pious acts of austerity in the past. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself must have been pleased with them. Otherwise, how could they engage in devotional service in so many ways? We demigods can only aspire to achieve human births in Bharatavarsha to execute devotional service, but these human beings are already engaged there. These facts are further explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 9.41 Bharata Bhumite Haila Manushya Janma Mayara Janma Sarthakari Karakari Karapara Upakara. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatavarsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. There are many facilities in India, Bharatavarsha, for executing devotional service. In Bharatavarsha, all the acharyas contributed their experience, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally appeared to teach the people of Bharatavarsha how to progress in spiritual life and be fixed in devotional service to the Lord. From all points of view, Bharatavarsha is a special land where one can very easily understand the process of devotional service and adopt it to make his life successful. If one makes his life successful in devotional service and then preaches devotional service in other parts of the world, people throughout the world will actually benefit. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. There's a lag, I think so, in the video. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Visheshamnevadi Ashtadeshtarine. Okay, so it's a very nice verse. And this is one of and also one of those verses where it is said that to take birth in Bharat Bhumi, that's very fortunate. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu composed his verse. Prabhupada quotes from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bharat Bhumi te manushya janjar jam sartha kari karo paropkar. Now by Bharat verse, what do we mean here? Bharat verse, of course, in modern parlance, it's India, but we are not talking about India here. Specifically, so in general, it's India. As Srila Prabhupada used to say that people who are born in India have a responsibility to distribute this knowledge, spiritual knowledge. Indians are not meant for becoming computer scientists or for becoming doctors or any other profession. The only job of Indians should be the focus should be to preach this message of God all around the world. In Mahabharata, the boundaries of Bharat is explained. Bharatvarsh is said to be between, if you really focus, what is Bharat? Said to be between the southern part of Himalayas and the northern part of Vindhyachal. So the region between southern part of Himalayas and northern part of Vindhyachal, and also the region between Saraswati on the west and Ganga and Jamuna on the east. That was called Aryavrat, where Aryavrat, or that was also called Gaurdesh, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Why it was called Aryavrat and why it was called Gaurdesh? Because Are, so first we'll deal with this word Are. Are means Shrestha. In Sanskrit, Are means Shrestha. Shrestha means, so how can we say? Leaders, let's say like the superiors and leaders who are superior, who are not inferiors, like that. Technically, literally in Sanskrit, Are means who are fixed on the goal. The word arrow, it comes from the word Are, who are fixed on the goal, whose goal of life is Krishna and his bhakti. That's all. Devotion. Those people are called Are. Srila Prabhupada, in very general way, he translates Are as gentleman, whose Why? Because this Aryavrat is also called as Gaudadesh, which Prabhupada writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, following the commentary of Bhakti Siddhanta. Why it was called Gaudadesh? Because God comes from the word good. Good means sweet. So this whole tract of land between Himalayas and Vindhyachal in the north and the south, between Saraswati and Ganga from the west to the east, this whole land was sweet. That's the whole point. This whole land was full of sweet and gentle people, and that's why Prabhupada translated one of the meanings of Arya as a gentle man. So, or Gaudadesh is also the land which is very sweet, because people here are sweet. People whose speech is sweet, whose actions are sweet, whose thoughts are sweet, whose goal is sweet. And by sweet in scripture, sweet is Krishna. Raso Vaisa. So who speak about Krishna, who think about Krishna, who act for Krishna, who live for Krishna, who die for Krishna, it's all Krishna. Raso Vaisa rasam hi evayam labdhanandi bhavati. So that's why this tract of land Bharat was also called as Gaud. So one of the names of Bharat was Aryavrat. Another, so Aryavarta, and another and another name is Gaudadesh, because of sweetness in this land. Gauda, one of the another meanings of Gaud is from the word Gaur. Gaud is translated to Gauda. Generally, Gaur word is associated with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this word Gaur specifically also comes from the word Gaur. Gaur means effulgent, light, Gaur, golden color, or knowledge. Light and effulgence is actually related to knowledge. So this tract, this Bharat Bhumi, which was also called as Gaudadesh, means people here were very knowledgeable. People followed the system of God, that is Varnashrama system, and they were highly spiritual, and that is why they were very knowledgeable. So that is, so those are the few names of Bharatvarsh. Bharatvarsh is called as Aryavrat, or it's also called as Gaudadesh. Now, Bhagavatam says that people who are born in this tract of land are very fortunate. Why they are fortunate? I mean to say, okay, so what about people who are not born in this tract of land of Bharat Bhumi? Some people say Bharat Bhumi is the entire earth, but if you really specifically pinpoint Bharat, that is this tract of land, what I explained. Or in general words, you can say India. Now, what is beyond this tract of land, Bharat? Now, this Aryavrat and Gaudadesh, beyond this tract of land, in South India, there were people who were outcasts. Andhra Pradesh comes from the word Andhra. Khasas, if Srimad Bhagavatam says, these were outcasts people who are actually within the Varnashrama system, but nevertheless they are out of the divine caste system of Varnashrama. So what I mean is, still if you go to any village in Bengal, you will find Brahmanas in the center of the village, and then outside you will have Vaishyas, and then still outside you will have Kshatriyas, and outside you will have Shudras. This is the most common arrangement in any village of Bengal, even still today. If you go to Srirangam, that's the same pattern they follow. There's a Srirangam temple, then there are Brahmanas, and then outside Vaishyas, Kshatriyas, and then Vaishyas, and then Shudras. So, but then outside the ring of Shudras, there are outcasts people like Chandalas. They're outcasts. Their job is to make things of skin of animals, and so these kind of things, or maybe so they make something out of garbage, something like this. So they live like that, like jungle people, like that. So they live. So they are within the society and nevertheless not within the society. So these are called house castes. So at that time, Aryavrat was in this North India, so called. If I want to make you understand, but below Vindhyachal, it was outcast. So that was there. So this whole India was actually the entire India, north and south. It was called as Bharat Bhumi. Bharat Bhumi. But if you want to technically, I mean to say, if you want to really pinpoint what is Bharat Bhumi, that was between Vindhyachal and Himalayas. But if you want to little extend it, then it's whole India. Now, what was beyond the boundaries of Bharat Bhumi? Beyond the boundaries of Bharat Bhumi were Malechas and Yavanas and Khasas and Pulindas, all these people. That means beyond the boundaries of India were people who didn't believe in Vedic culture, who were not Arya, who were un-Arya, who didn't belong to Gauda Desh, who were not sweet, who were rough. In general language, in general English language, they are called as barbarians. So we know Greek, European culture. I mean to say, before the Enlightenment or industrialization, they were all barbarians. They didn't have any religion. They, we know by history, not as a specific religion. People used to follow whatever they want to do by speculation. Even in even in the Persian area, Arab countries and these countries, there was no religion. When Prophet Muhammad came, then he introduced the religion Islam. In China, people didn't have any religion. They are still communist and atheists. So Malechas, Europeans, I mean to say, at that time, people there were mostly barbarians, and they were fighting. And we know by history there were fights and this and that and that. So the point is, they didn't follow Vedic culture. They people outside Bharat Bhumi, they rejected Vedic culture. But much longer back, entire earth was following Vedic culture. But after that, in history, it is said that after some time, these kings outside Bharat Bhumi, they rejected the Vedic culture and they become Malechas and Yavanas. Malechas means who, Ichha means desire, Mal means dirt, who desire dirt. Now, according to Vedic culture, what is dirt? So everything leaving aside spiritual knowledge, that is dirt and useless. Dirt is useless, having no value. So Malechas are those people who are interested in those things which are having no value. And what is having no value? Anything which is not connected to God, that is of no value. So this culture of Malechas was highly materialistic at that time, but they were not spiritual to the least. And Yavanas means who are interested in Yavan. Yavan means yawn, that means body and sex. So these people were Yavanas. They inhabited the Persian area, the Middle East, like that, at that time, long back. So they also didn't follow Vedic culture. In China at that time, they were all really. So at that time, Chinese history, they were all very degraded people, having no God, no religion. Kings were fighting with each other. So Xing dynasty and all this. This was like that. So mostly 5,000 years back, even before that, Bharat Bhumi was proud of having Vedic culture. It was like that. Beyond the boundaries of Bharat Bhumi, there was no Vedic culture. And that's why in Dharma Shastras, there is one injunction that you should not leave the boundaries of Bharat. Especially sannyasis are not allowed to go beyond the boundaries of Bharat, because if they go, there is all non-Vedic culture, and so they might lose their faith. They might fall on it. It's very risky, so they were not allowed to go. So what are demigods saying? Demigods are saying, well, people who have taken birth in Bharat Varsha, in this tract of land. Why Bharat? I just explained, because Bharat had somehow kept its Vedic culture enlivened and ongoing. Other areas outside Bharat, they lost their Vedic culture somehow, and they became barbarians. They rejected the Vedic culture. So that's the beauty of Bharat, because Bharat Bhumi is very conducive to following spiritual life. Now, the whole idea is not that now we are born in Bharat, so we are superiors and they're inferiors. That's not the point. Superior, inferior, that's not how gentlemen think. The idea here is that this tract of land is conducive to spiritual realization. Any place which is conducive to spiritual realization, that is desired, just like Prabhupada opened temples all around the world. And Srila Prabhupada said, my temples are Vrindavan. So you might live in original Vrindavan, or you might live in any ISKCON temple. This is equal to Vrindavan, because that is conducive to spiritual realization. Prabhupada called his temples as spiritual bubble. It's a bubble. You stay inside the temple and you're protected from Maya and this material world. So the idea is, because this Bharat Desh, this Gauda Desh, which was later called as Panchagod, it had a strong Vedic culture, and the culture was so strong that people who are born in this culture, they automatically take up spiritual life. They don't have to really work hard within themselves. They don't have to from childhood they are spiritual. So even if you go 100 years back, my grandfather, grandmother, they used to automatically get up in the morning. Even now in villages, people get up at 3:30, and by 6 o'clock they have done so many things, and they do puja. They get up in the morning, and 50, 100 years back, 4 regulated principles were very normal. There were no 4 regulated principles, because people were not eating meat, people were not doing illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling. It was natural. What we have today, even so now today, even Bharat Bhumi has degraded to a great extent. So now even in Bharat Bhumi, we don't have Vedic culture. Everything is gone. The Western civilization, it has come up due to whatever reasons are there, and India has gone down because we have also left our Vedic culture. We have also become Malechas and Yavanas like that. So now it's a different situation. Now if we read Bharat Bhumi, it's a very different situation now. But people have got this mental setup of Malechas and Yavanas. They have become almost like barbarians. So in that context, what we see is this Bharat Bhumi is defined as perhaps ISKCON temples. Let's put it like that. People who are connected to temples, ISKCON, people who are connected to this ISKCON movement, they are very fortunate because they get a conducive atmosphere right from childhood. Now, for us now, for us, what we think chanting holy names and 4 regulative principles, it's a very big thing. But I just told in Aryavrat, in Bharat Varsha, it was very natural. Human life means following 4 regs and chanting 4 regulative and chanting Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada also said these 4 regs and chanting Hare Krishna, it's to make you human. And then you slowly advance to become Vaishnava. Even today, we can't claim that I'm a Vaishnava, because the concept of Vaishnava and being is a high thing. But the point I want to make is that demigods are saying, Yei janma labdhanishu bharatajire. People who are born in Bharatvarsh, they are very, very fortunate. How wonderful they are saying. It is for these human beings to have been born in land of Bharatvarsh. Why? Because demigods were seeing that this, for them, they don't have to fight with their mind. Right from childhood, they're following 4 regs. For demigods, following 4 regs is a big thing. They can't even imagine to follow 4 regs. Illicit sex, come on, forget it. I mean to say, they can't follow that rules and regulations, because in the demigods, in heavenly planets, sexual activities are allowed. It's not sinful. In human life, it's sinful, but in demigod's life, it is allowed. It's legal. As Prabhupada said, it's legal. They have apsaras and it's legalized there. So they can't even imagine to not to follow this illicit sex. Intoxication, they are drinking somras. They are addicted to somras, not just because it is intoxicating, because it is life-giving. They get all their powers and life and rejuvenation from somras. The side effect is intoxication, but nevertheless, they have to take this. Otherwise, they become weak and they can't fight with demons and all these people. So they're forced to drink, in a way, somras. So they can't even follow that rules and regulations. Meat eating, of course, they don't do meat eating in heavenly planets. That's okay with them. And gambling. Gambling, they do in the sense that there's a lot of mental speculation in heavenly planets. Of course, in heavenly planets, it's pretty clear Vishnu and Krishna is God, that there's no confusion. But nevertheless, there is speculation. There are so many Gandharvas, Kinnaras. All of them are really not clear about Vedic culture. Great demigods might be clear about what Vedas are saying exactly, but heavenly planets, that's also difficult. So mental gambling is there. Of course, Gandharvas and Kinnaras, they also play real gambling like chess and all these things. It's happening there also. So it's there. So that's what demigods are saying, come on, in Bharatvarsha, which is very favorable tract of land for following rules and regulations and becoming a human and chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, it's in their culture. In our culture, demigods saying, in our culture, it's all sense gratification and it's so difficult. So that's why they're very fortunate. Or in modern parlance, we can say people who are born in ISKCON, they are very fortunate. In the community of ISKCON, they are fortunate because from childhood, they're following all these rules and regulations and chanting Hare Krishna. So one word which demigods are using here is Aho Amisham Ke Makari. This word Amisham, Amisham means Amish. This is Amish. This comes from the word Amisham. Amisham. I don't want to speculate. Prabhupada says Amisham means of these inhabitants of Bharatvarsha. I think the word Amisham means who don't eat meat. I think so. I have to check, but as far as my Sanskrit knowledge goes, it means who don't eat meat. Bharat, and in fact, Mahabharata says that if you want to identify people from Bharatvarsha, suppose if you are lost on that planet, suppose if you come from moon planet to this earth, and if you want to know where is Bharatvarsha, now you don't have GPS, you don't have anything. So it was recommended, you just start walking to the east. Just start walking to the east. Now there's sunrise, you start walking to the east. And as soon as you hit a land where people have these 2 characteristics. One is they take bath daily. That's one thing. And second is they don't eat meat. That means you have reached the tract of land which is known as Bharatvarsha or Aryavrat or Gaudadesh. That's how people used to identify that we have reached Bharatvarsha. Alexander the Great, when he actually was conquering the entire world, he started from Macedonia. And he conquered all this Persia, and he was coming towards the east. Amish is one who eats meat. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, Amisham. So who eats meat? Come on, who eats meat? Amisham. Aho Amisham. Who here it means who doesn't eat meat. Amisham. So people who so when Alexander came here, so Alexander knew beyond Saraswati there are people who are belong to Bharatvarsha. He came, but But Aristotle, his guru, Alexander's guru, he told that when you reach Bharatvarsha, of course you can identify Bharatvarsha through Saraswati. Beyond Saraswati, it's or beyond Sindhu river. That's how it goes. There is Bharatvarsha, but one of the characteristic, he also told that, so it's recorded, he told that in that tract of land people take bath daily. And even today we take bath daily. And even today, beyond the boundaries of India, people don't take bath daily. People take bath in a week because of so many reasons, whatever, but very few people take bath daily. It's very, people just put scent and all these things outside India. But here, Indians cannot live without taking bath daily. It's in our culture, you see this. And we don't eat meat. I mean to say, present scenario is, present Bharatvarsha is not exactly Bharatvarsha. Its situation has changed, but this culture, taking bath, it still remains. Eating meat is lost, everybody is eating meat and it's gone. So, Kemakari Shobhanam, that's what they say, that demigods are surprised what kind of Shobhanam, what kind of pious activities they have done. Kim Akari Shobhanam. So this is in past tense. What pious activities they did in the past. That was the whole point. In the past, what they were doing, some pious activities they might have done to be born in the tract of Bharatvarsha, because nothing happens by chance. Demigods are thinking, why we are not born in Bharatvarsha? Now, people in India, people at that time in Bharatvarsha, after Shankaracharya, there was Karma Kanda. And people were doing yagyas to go to heavenly planets, and heavenly planets, demigods are trying to come to Bharatvarsha. In fact, Srila Prabhupada said, Prabhupada was once in Kumbh Mela, and he told in Kumbh Mela that many demigods, so people were saying, so in Kumbh Mela there were so many yogis and so many things were happening. So Srila Prabhupada says, in Kumbh Mela even demigods come. And Prabhupada said that demigods will come to have darshan of us, Prabhupada said, or be devotees in Kumbh Mela. So Prabhupada was once sitting, and so this was said to me, this was related to me, incidents was related to me by Atmadat Prabhu, and he was present at that time in Kumbh Mela when Srila Prabhupada was in Allahabad. And one man came, and Srila Prabhupada just stretched his legs out. And he stretched his legs out, and that man took out a plate, and he washed Prabhupada's feet. He took Charnamrit and just went. People were surprised, who is this? He just came, and Prabhupada just agreed to make his made his legs, wash his legs and take Charnamrit. He was surprised. So devotees asked, who was he? Prabhupada said he was a demigod. Some devotees asked in one of letters, it is there, Prabhupada, devotees asked, should we not worship demigods, especially Ganesh? Prabhupada says in Nectar of Devotion that one should worship Ganesh before worshipping Vishnu. So devotees asked Prabhupada letter, Prabhupada, should we not worship Ganesh because it's in Nectar of Devotion? Prabhupada wrote back, Prabhupada wrote, we don't go to Lord Ganesh. Lord Ganesh would come to see us. That was his response. The point is trying to make is not trying to demean Lord Ganesh. He's a very great devotee of Lord Narasimha. But what he's saying is that the position of Vaishnava is very, very, very high. And Rupa Goswami writes a verse in Padmayavali. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness and one follows four legs, sincerely, what happens is Brahmaji starts preparing Aarti plate in heavenly planets in Brahmlok, because he knows that these people are going to get liberated, and then so when that soul will be going back to Godhead, they will have to go through Brahmalok, and at that time Brahma will offer his Aarti to them, and they will just go back to spiritual world. That's what Rupa Goswami writes. That's the position of Vaishnava. That's the position of people who are born in Bharatvarsha. Bharatvarsha, not in literal sense, but in a very philosophical sense. Bharatvarsha. the present India have lost its whole Vedic civilization. And that's why Prabhupada said, Prabhupada said, my 50% work is left. I want to establish Varnashrama system. I want to bring back this Vedic culture back in Indians. But Prabhupada went to America and Prabhupada said, I've brought Americans back to India so that Indians will take up spiritual life. And Prabhupada said, when Indians will take up spiritual life, then the whole world will change. So although we have lost, I mean to say at large, we are like almost like Malaysians now, Indians like from this part of the world, it's gone. But things can be revived. There's still a ray of hope, at least our generation, at least the present generation. After this, even that hope will be lost, because you see all young people, they are simply corrupted. Now, because of internet, everything is mixed up. Boundaries are lost. There are virtual boundaries, cyber boundaries, and everything is with everything. And that is why it's a whole mess. There is no Vedic culture around. And even people who are talking about Vedic culture, they are also talking complete nonsense. Only Srila Prabhupada books are the guide in the present age. Only the books what Prabhupada has given that can save this world. That's why Prabhupada was so much focused on distributing books. In fact, Srila Prabhupada was living in Vrindavan, and daily in his old age, he was going out of Vrindavan, preaching in Delhi, and people of Vrindavan very confused. They were saying, in old age, people come to Vrindavan to do bhajan and leave their body, but Prabhupada is going to Delhi. What's happening? Prabhupada said, my guru said that to live in Vrindavan is Maya. We want to distribute Vrindavan. So Srila Prabhupada took Vrindavan outside and distributed, and he created Vrindavan in the hearts of people. Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, somebody asked, what's your mission, Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur? My mission is to make Krishna's temple in the hearts of people, and not just the buildings of bricks. That was his point. And that's the point. People who are born in this Bharat Varsha, the idea is people who have this consciousness of Bharat, the fervor and the zeal of Bharat in their hearts. Those people who have that zeal of Vedic culture in their hearts, they are really born in Bharat Varsha, whether they are in America, China, or India, wherever they are born in Bharat Varsha, who have caught the spirit of this tract of Bharat Varsha in the modern times. They are technically called as the inhabitants of Bharat Varsha, and demigods see them like that from above. So this point you have to remember when we are reading this shloka, otherwise it will be very confusing. And he's saying Mukunda Seva Upayakam Spriyahina. They are saying that these people of Bharat Varsha, for them, liberation is in their fist. Why? Because they are naturally inclined to serve Krishna. Mukunda Seva Upayakam. Upayakam Spriha. Spriha means desire. They have a natural desire to serve Krishna. That is a person who is born in Bharat Varsha. He is known as Bharat Janma. Anybody who has a desire to serve Krishna, he can be philosophically called as an Indian in normal sense. Indian is not a passport Indian. That's not the point. I mean to say, we use this modern parlance, but he's called Bharat. He has a Bharat Janma, who is having the desire to serve Krishna. Now this is important, this line. Why? Because demigods, you see, when it comes to demigods, they are very clear in their conception of spiritual life. It is said in Bhagavad Gita, what's that? So in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Adho tishtanti tamasa. People who are in tamagun, they go down. People who are in rajagun, madhya tishtanti rajasa. People in rajagun, they are on this earth planet born again. People who are in satagun, sattva, what's that? Rajo tishtanti madhyama, and urdhavam gacchanti satvastha. People on Satogun, they go up. So people who are the people who are born in heavenly planets? These are those people who accept that Vishnu is supreme. Otherwise, you won't go up. If you do some pious activities and if you don't accept Vishnu as supreme, if you're really confused who is God, then you will be born on this earth planet and get some shadowy results of your pious activities. Because Bhagavad Gita has one more verse, Mogasha Moga Karmano, Mogyana Vichetasa. Which is that verse? Mogasha Moga Karmano, Mogyana Vichetasa. Krishna says, all the endeavors, all the thoughts, all the knowledge fails if they don't surrender to me. All their pious activities, Mog Karmano, will fail. So on the strength of that verse, many acharyas recommend that any pious activity if you do, if it is not related to Vishnu, you're not going up. Either you'll be born on the earth planet or you'll go down. So people in heavenly planets, they are at least clear on this fact that Vishnu is supreme. Only on earth planet there is so much confusion. Above it's clear, but they might not necessarily have pure devotion for Vishnu. That's the point demigods are raising. Demigods are saying, well, we know Krishna is supreme. Mukunda, they have desire to serve Krishna. That we don't have. We know Krishna is supreme, but we are too involved in our dance, music, Gandharvas, Kinnars, in our other things. And I mean to say, Somras and all these, their plays and fruits and parija trees. It's so much distraction. It is said in heavenly planets, there is a background music. Always there's a background music. You don't become old. You have no pain. You have no people they don't suffer birth. It's practically Vaikuntha. You are simply enjoying. That's why heavenly planets are called as Bhog Bhumi. But the point I'm saying is they know Mukunda. They know that Krishna or Vishnu is supreme. Everybody knows that. That's no confusion. I mean to say, Shiva is there, Brahma is there, and they regularly, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Varun, Agni, they regularly hold concerts to glorify Vishnu. And they themselves are there, and they themselves say Vishnu is supreme. They have no confusion. But the point which they lack is Mukunda Seva Opyoyo comes Spriha. They lack the desire, Spriha, to serve Krishna. That's important. So you might know Krishna, but you might not have the desire to serve Krishna. And that's what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he made distinction between Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Brahmanas are those, Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. Brahmanas are those who know Vishnu is supreme, but Vaishnavas are those who not only know Vishnu is supreme or Krishna is supreme, but they have a desire to serve Krishna. Now, that is why Bharat, demigods are very specific. Demigods are not saying that people who are born in tract of Bharatvarsha, they are very fortunate because they know Vedas, because they know Vishnu is supreme. That they also know. They might know better than us. But what they are specific on this point is they have the desire to serve Krishna. That is not available anywhere. And Rupa Goswami has written that beautiful verse. Prabhupada always quotes in his lectures. Tatra lolyam api ekalam mulayam. Prabhupada quotes, if you really want to have Krishna, should have the desire. You need the desire to have him first. Otherwise, how will you have Krishna? And if you but to get that desire to serve Krishna, that's impossible. That is impossible. That janma koti sukruti rapina labhyate. So many lifetimes you have to spend to attain that desire to serve Krishna. That's what Rupa Goswami is saying. So many lifetimes. But Rupa Goswami is saying, if you manage to get it somewhere, if it is available somewhere, some shop, just go to them and ask them, I want the desire to serve Krishna. And that person in the shop will say, well, in exchange, I don't want money, I don't want anything, I just want your head. So instantly you should cut your head, give it to him, and take the desire to serve Krishna. That's how rare it is. Tatra lolyam api ekalam mulayam janma sukriti koti na lapyate. So that's what we are looking for. The idea of this verse, you see Bhagavatam is Amala Puran. And every verse is Vivatam Bhagavatam Rasamahalayam. Swadu, Swadu, Pade, Pade. Every verse is offering the nectar of pure devotion. And in this verse, again, demigods have come to the point. The whole idea is to have desire to serve God. We might have God in front of us, but if we don't have desire to serve Him, it's useless. We might be demons if we don't have desire to serve Krishna. Hiranyakashipu knew Vishnu, Ravan knew Vishnu, but they wanted to kill him. That's why Prabhupada says, Anukulina Krishna Nushilinam. Anukulina means that favorable desire to serve him. That matters. And why they are saying that people of Bharat Bhumi are very fortunate, because in Bharat Bhumi, there are saints and sadhus who have this desire to serve Krishna within their heart. That's here in this Bharat Bhumi. And what saints transfer to us, of course, saints make us convinced that, okay, Krishna is supreme. That's one thing. So they give us knowledge of scriptures. That's one thing. But what they really have in their heart, what they give, what they want to give, they want to give us this desire. And that transference is required from one heart to another heart. And that is why it is said, devotion takes birth from devotion. Bhakti sanjataya bhaktaya. Bhakti comes from bhakti. Now, what is bhakti? Bhakti is desire. So we always have to focus on this desire. Keep focus on this desire. That makes you fortunate. Not necessarily if you're born in India, that makes you fortunate. That's the whole point. If you look this verse from a really philosophical perspective, it's not that if you're born in India, if you have visa of India, you're fortunate. That's not what they're saying. They are saying people who are fortunate in India, people who are born in India, why they're fortunate? Because they have the desire to serve Krishna. But if you're not an Indian, but you have a desire to serve Krishna, you're equally fortunate. That's the whole point. That is what this verse is leading to. It has nothing to do with a tract of land or boundaries. It's nothing really to do with that. Technically, philosophically, it's to do with desire to serve Krishna. And that's what Chaitanya Prabhu says, Bharat Bhumite Manushya Janjar, Jan Sartha Kari Karo Karo. Anybody, I mean to say, this verse can literally also means people who are born in India, they have this duty to spread this message. Philosophically, it can also means people who have this desire to serve Krishna, just like we all connected to Prabhupada. Our function is to distribute this message. Perfect our lives by maturing this desire to love of God. When you have 100% desire to serve Krishna, that's called love of God. Perfect your, and that's called Jan Sarthakari and Paropkar. And also give this desire to others. Light a candle from a candle. That's what we are doing. So in a sense, preaching means to kindle the desire to serve Krishna in their hearts. Preaching doesn't mean a transference of information only or knowledge only. Preaching means transference of this desire to serve Krishna. That's what every lecture and every preaching should aim for. Your preaching is successful if the other party wants to serve Krishna more and more and more and more. That's the whole point. And they understand what is service in real sense. So that is this verse all about. Demigods didn't say that people who were one in the Bharat verse, they are fortunate because they're doing dan, they're doing tapa, they're doing yagya, they're doing swadhyaya. No. They are saying that these people are fortunate because they have desire to serve Krishna. You see, in other words, demigods know their stuff very well. Even to come to this conclusion is difficult. That so Krishna says in Bhagavatam, na dana, na yagya, na tapo, You cannot attain me by jnana, dana, or charity, austerity, sacrifice, mundane sacrifices, or maybe just reading of Vedas. You can't do that. Yatha bhaktir mamorjita. But you can attain me by devotion, by pure devotion. And what is a crux of pure devotion? That's a desire to serve Krishna and not desire to serve illusion. And that's what is whole fight all about. We now have a mixed desire. We want to serve illusion. We also want to serve Krishna. We want to serve ourselves. We want to serve society. We want to serve people. But no, we have to serve Krishna. And when we serve Krishna, then we serve the entire universe and entire earth and entire humanity. That's a real service. So in that sense, this verse is very nice. It is actually leading us to a goal, reminding us what we are supposed to do, and also helping us to understand what is real Vedic culture. All Vedic culture is directed towards this Mukunda Seva Opyekam Spriha. Spriya means desire. So that famous verse is there by Rupa Goswami. What's that? Spriya yavat pishachi vartate. What's that verse? Bhakti mukti spriya yavat pishachi hirte vartate. There also word spriya comes. If there's a desire for enjoyment, desire for liberation, then you'll not be able to enjoy the bliss of devotion. Why? Because a desire for enjoyment, desire for liberation carries a desire for making ourselves happy. But desire to serve, the target of desire to serve is to make Krishna happy. That's the difference. And when you have this desire, when you have this understanding, and when you have this realization that serving myself, oneself, or serving others will simply lead to frustration and miseries, it's a cheating in one sense. Serving Krishna, that's real life, that is real bliss, and that is what is truth and reality. We have to be convinced within our core of soul. We might slip. If this path is slippery, Prabodhanand Saraswati says this path is slippery. Even great sages, Muninamapi, they also slip on this path. Why? Because this path is full of juice. There is a lot of rasa on this path. This path is overflowing with rasa. So if you walk, you'll slip because there's a liquid on the road, slippery liquid, which is rasa. So we will slip. Even great rishis slip, but no problem. If our direction is clear, if our understanding is clear, that's well enough. It's good to fall down again and again, but to be in the right direction, rather than not to fall down and go with a full speed, but in a wrong direction. And that's what demigods are. Demigods are clear. By this verse, demigods are also condemning all this cheating dharma projita kaidavatra, which professes yagya, dan, tap, and all these things, and they say that this can make you attain Krishna. No. All these things can be favorable to devotion. All these things can help to actually mature, our desire to serve Krishna in a favorable way. But only these can never help you to attain Krishna. People who profess like that, they are cheating religion. So by this verse, demigods are also condemning cheating religion by the last line. And also demigods are very clear about the fact who is a person who belongs to Vedic culture simply by calling yourself Vedic and chanting Vedas doesn't make you belonging to Vedic culture. It doesn't. It's not suffice. It is not sufficient. Simply because you're born in a caste. So this verse is also condemning the mundane Asuri caste system. You see, just by one line and two lines, demigods are also actually counteracting wrong philosophies and establishing the right philosophies. So this verse, that's why I told you every verse of Bhagavatam is Swadu, Swadu, Pade, Pade. There's so many functions of one verse of Bhagavatam to actually counteract wrong philosophies, to establish right philosophy, and to lead us to the right path and help us not to deviate from the right path and be focused on the goal and attain Krishna. That's this verse all about. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this straightforward class that how deep we should go forward to get the love of Godhead, that we should be ready to purchase with the cost of our head. Thank you, Prabhuji. Long way to go to come to that level of surrender and to cultivate that. Yes, Prabhuji. With this, I have one question, Prabhuji. We'll have to serve Lord. We have to serve Lord, but sometimes there is a little bit confusion to serve Lord and to serve Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas, pure devotees are in different platform, but still all are Vaishnavas who all are devotees who are in this path. So sometimes the rules and the standards of deity worships that is more important, or these the Vaishnavas are more important when these two comes in clash, how to handle.
The point is, Bhagavatam says, Kanishta Adhikari is that Archayameva Hari, who is interested in deity worship, but who is not interested in Vaishnavas. That is Kanishta. Madhyama, Prem Maitri Kripa Upeksha, the 11th canto, they says Madhyam devotees who is interested in serving Krishna, deities, and also Vaishnavas. But Uttam Adhikari is a person who is interested to serve Krishna within the heart of devotees. So for an advanced devotee, if you have to choose between deity and, I mean to say, if you want to choose between God and servant, we choose servant, isn't it? Kopi bhartu patkamlayo das anudas anudas. So, and also even technically it is like that. Hari Bhakti Vilas says, Hari Bhakti Sanatana Goswami gives an example. If you are doing deity worship, you're offering a lamp and suddenly you hear a bell and you say, who is this? And they say, I am so and so Das Prabhuji. There's a Vaishnav there. You should immediately stop your arti, go and attend that Vaishnav. And then make him sit, give him water, and then say, see, I have to complete my arti. And go back and complete your arti. You see, such importance is given to Vaishnavas. So Vaishnavas are always, because Chaitanya Charitamrita also says deities are Achal Brahm and devotees are Chala Brahm. Deities are actually God who is sitting in one place, but devotees are God-like, not God actually, who are walking. I mean, the deities is stable at one place, but devotees have deities in their heart and they are mobile. They're carrying deities everywhere. So serving a Vaishnava, and it is also said, if you want to offer food to God, there are three ways: either through deities, or through sacrificial fire, or through mouth of a Brahmana or a Vaishnava. Technically, Brahmana means Vaishnava. And scripture says the best way is to give your offering is through the mouth of Vaishnavas. So that's the perfect understanding. You have to serve devotees, because serving devotees is serving God. And Krishna says, I don't consider my devotee as my devotee. I consider my devotee's devotee as my devotee. So even literally we can stop deity worship. Literally, it's not just a concept. To serve Vaishnavas, that's the position of Vaishnavas. So if there's a choice, if it's a contradiction, whom to do, serve Vaishnavas. That's all. But you should be sure that Vaishnava is not trying to, really use you and stop your deity worship. That thing has to be, sometimes that happens, because we don't understand what's happening. So you're doing the right thing, but the Vaishnava is trying to actually engage you in his service and in his purpose. So that is some subtle things we have to keep in mind. But in general, serve Vaishnavas. That's a policy. Devotees are first, deities are second. We even do deity worship for the pleasure of devotees, by the way. We do deity worship for the pleasure of devotees. There's no other purpose of doing deity worship. We don't do deity worship for our own pleasure. Then we are selfish. That's sense gratification. So why we are doing deity worship in the temple? For the pleasure of devotees, so that people come and see Krishna. They're very beautiful and this. So everything, so even deity worship is for the pleasure of devotees. So it's not, you see the point, the purpose of deity worship is pleasure of devotees. So if you choose between devotees and deities, then obviously it's devotees, because that's also for devotees. So that's how it goes.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. In follow-up, as you went in detail that if devotee is trying to exploit you or something, we got into that point. If we see devotees, they have only devotees to ask for their needs also. So sometimes it is maybe for their personal benefit, but still where they will go, they will come to some other devotee only. So in that case, is it okay to help some materially to devotees, also keeping thus their Vaishnavas in mind?
See, material help to devotees is not a really a good policy, because we are here to serve them spiritually. There is no acharya who really materially helped anybody. I mean, so they just give spiritual instruction. Materially, you adjust yourself, your life. That's okay, because the point is, if you start helping materially, then it's not ending anywhere, because they're always everybody's in a problem, a material world. So then this problem, then as a preacher, for example, you or me, or then we get sucked up in total different dimension. Then everybody comes with their material mundane problems, and then you can't give them spiritual instructions, and it's all become mess. Of course, if a devotee is really in extreme material, I mean to say extreme case, if he really needs some material, like Ukraine, Russia, they're refugees, ISKCON devotees. Now they want material, they want food and shelter. So this is a very extreme case. Okay, we are supposed to help them. Who will help them? But in general, some small, okay, Prabhuji, I want job, and you're helping him. Come on, people do that seriously. Devotees, okay, let's help them. Come on, you deal with yourself. This job, business, and all this. Or Prabhuji, this thing's happening, that thing's happening. Having said that, some devotees might come to you with their problems, wife and husband. Okay, my wife is fighting with me, or this is a problem in my house. At that time, you need to counsel them, but not on a mundane level, on a spiritual level. That's a very different scenario. It should always be spiritual help. Any mundane problem can be solved by spiritual solution. Prabhupada said material problems and spiritual solutions. But devotees tend to give mundane solutions, and that's very bad idea. There's no mundane solution. There's no mundane solution for mundane problems. It becomes more complicated. So we always give spiritual advice, spiritual help. As far as I'm concerned, nobody even asks me mundane problems, because they are very clear. I don't really go into all these things. And anybody asks, I just tell them spiritual solution. I tell them, well, Krishna says you have to tolerate things. You have to learn how to tolerate. It's not that you will solve all problems in your life. It's a crazy idea. Understand that. Whatever practical things you do, and just you focus on Krishna. Krishna will plan and do whatever is necessary best for you. If that confidence we can give that soul, we might be living with him or not be living. We have actually given him the eternal benefit and eternal confidence. But if you give them some mundane solution, then when you're not there, then what happens? Then he's again disturbed. So it doesn't really help them. So it's my personal opinion that people who are connected to me, the people are connected to me also. There's so many devotees connected to me, and they're happy. It's not that we have to give mundane solutions, otherwise preaching doesn't happen. Well, preaching is happening. We are doing that. And many acharyas were doing that. Srila Prabhupada was doing that. And that's how it goes. Even Madhva Sampradaya, Swamijis, if you go to any Swamijis, if you tell some mundane problem, they will give you a spiritual solution. Sri Sampradaya, to say who are good Swamijis, they don't go in material life. You adjust yourself. That's how it goes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. It made many things clear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
we have 2 hand raised. Anuradha Devi Mataji, you can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Am I audible, Prabhu?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. I just had a realization I would like to share that yesterday I was hearing Prabhupada's lecture on 1.8.14, Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was saying that how, about the Varnashrama Dharma, and he said that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had to introduce sannyas in Gauriya Vaishnavism because people were taking Vaishnavas to be cheap, but Vaishnavas are the Paramhamsas. And so, and the people in Vrindavan, as you were saying, and I was just recollecting the entire lecture of Srila Prabhupada, which is like 41 minutes or so. Okay. And he was saying that because people took it very cheap, and they're saying that we are followers of Rupa Goswami, but they were, smoking bidi. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had to introduce sannyas so that, within our movement, we don't take it cheap and, cross our limits. Otherwise, Vaishnava should only wear white and nothing else, but to, maintain the decorum of the movement. And it was so wonderful, Prabhu, to hear. So I'm so grateful. And as you saying about the dharma in the lecture, Srila Prabhupada also says that Vrindavan Thakur said, Prithivite jaha kichu dharma name chale. Yeah, and then he was saying that whatever dharma is being called, Bhagavad Puran calls it as, it is all rascaldom. And it is such a wonderful, anything apart from Krishna consciousness is rascaldom. Then he said, we cannot say that in public. So I was just recollecting the entire lecture. So thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Suresh or Shyam Prabhu, you can go ahead next.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, one question, I get confused. We know many times when we say about pious activities are also bad, right, Prabhu? Because they take us to the heavenly planets. So I'm trying to see, are there different types of pious activities? Because here in this translation,
you're right. It says pious activities. So so there is something Bhakti Sukruti. There is Bhog Onmukh Sukruti, technical words. So there is pious activity related to mundane material work. There is pious activity related to devotional work. Although devotional work should not be called as pious activity, but at the same time, here pious activities is taken in a very general term. It's a good work. So good work can be mundane level also. Good work for Vishnu, that's of course that's the best and good work. So this verse is talking about Bhakti Sukruti, pious activities within the realm of Vaishnavas. So the whole point is when you do good to yourself or to non-devotees, that is mundane pious. But when you do good to Vaishnava pious activities, which is Bhakti Sukruti, which is mentioned.
Okay. So pious activities sometimes refer to multiple things, right, Prabhu?
Yeah. You're right. You're right. So mundane pious activities, technically, we say that that's sin. Although it appears good on the face, you are doing good to that person, or you're going to us or society. But if you go deep enough, then you will find that that's sin, because if you're doing good to somebody, he becomes happy, and then he'll forget God more, because that good is devoid of Vishnu. So you're actually making him away. Actually, you are taking him away from God. So in deeper sense, that's sin. So then what's left? Left is only devotional activities, isn't it? Which are good. So that is why here they are saying pious activities, because demigods have clarity in their mind that all of the activities anyway, they are sinful. So they don't make a distinction between Daivi pious or Asuri pious. You see, in that way, they don't make a distinction. They are clear, okay, pious means anything related to Vishnu, everything else is useless. So that's why they don't really add any adjective to pious activities. They don't add any adjective. Let me see. They have not added any adjective here, isn't it? Kemakari Shobhanam pious. So Ahomisha Kimakari Shobhanam, pious. So so what wonderful and good activities they might have done. That's all. So they didn't add a word, what devotional wonderful activities or what divine wonderful activities. No, it's clear. All of the activities are simple at a deeper level.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavad.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Next, I would request Gail Mataji to ask question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I wanted to follow up on an answer that you just gave just a little while ago about helping out devotees on a material level. So I'm thinking that, to pursue spiritual life, there has to be a certain amount of peace on a material level. And so if someone comes to you very disturbed about things that are troubling them on a material level, I feel for that purpose, right? It seems
no, you yeah, I understand your question. You are fine in that sense, but you know what happens is but practically what happens? Practically what happens is most of the devotees who come with some problem and they're very disturbed, they are not disturbed because of the situation. They are disturbed because of their wrong conceptions in their head. They're looking at the situation in a very wrong way. And I've seen 90%, 99% devotees. The situation is not at all disturbing, but they're unnecessarily disturbed because they are not seeing the situation with spiritual eyes. They're seeing the situation with mundane eyes. And that's why devotees who come to me with disturbed, I give them spiritual eyes. And then the next day they were happy. They say, Prabhuji, there was no problem. Unnecessarily, I was being disturbed. It's crazy idea. So that's the point there. So that should be our first strategy. Otherwise, what we are doing is, if we give them some solution, then it's a quick fix. But they never change from within. Then another problem comes, they are again disturbed. Another problem, they are again disturbed.
Yes.
Yeah. So that will benefit them for long run.
Yes. Okay, great. We're on the same page. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Oh, so who is that? Mataji, just a minute. But this Gail, what's this Gail all about? Who was speaking?
Me.
Yeah, me. So your name is Gail. It's Gail.
Yeah, they call me Gail. They call me Gorangi. I met you at Brooklyn Temple. Remember?
Yeah, I know. I remember you. I remember you. I remember your voice clearly.
Yeah. That's me.
Okay, fine. Yeah, Mataji, anybody else?
Yeah, we have one question in chat, Prabhuji. I will read it for you by Jyoti Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. As per your teachings here, to become Vaishnava is a process, right? A loop. First, a person has to find out that he is soul and has body. Second, he has to find out guru, teacher, who teach something more about soul. Then third, once he is aware, he tried to purify his actions, karma yoga as per bhakti. Then dhyana yoga to clarify and purify, karma yoga as per bhakti. Take Gyan yoga as per need of purification, then bhakti, and then purification. He becomes human. Humility quality comes, and free from three gunas. Then after such purification, one is qualified for Vaishnavas. In our case, we directly come to bhakti. So the process has been compressed in Kali Yuga. So we should always remember its shortcut for us and tailored. Question 1, is above loop is correct? Question 2, is it not easy to track our past million aparats and sins as we skip the process, or it will take a hell of time?
No, question 1 is, yeah, it's right. Loop is right, but we skip the loop and directly go to bhakti by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. That's correct. And the second is past million. So what's the second question? Past million aparats, can we track?
Is it not easy to track our past million aparats and sins as we skip the process, or it will take a hell of time?
No, we don't really need to even know our past million of radhas and this and that. And if we directly come to bhakti and surrender to Krishna, Krishna will take care of all our sins and everything. He says, Sarjanan Paritajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. We have to have faith in him. And that's why jnanis and yogis, they don't come to bhakti because they think, first you have to purify and this and that. There are so many millions of radhas. How will it happen? How directly and this and that. But Krishna says, no. Sardharman Paritajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Have faith in me. I will mokshishyami masacha. I will counter all your sins. You just come to me. I will take care of everything. Just serve me. That is the promise of Lord Krishna. So that is why we take to bhakti with having confidence in his promise, in his words, and not being confused that how will it happen, like jnanis and yogis. And Krishna is expert. He will do whatever is necessary with us. Krishna is very nice. He can dissolve our sins within this life. He can mold us into a perfect devotee within this life, provided we allow him to work on ourselves. That is the whole point. A desire to serve also means a desire to be molded by his hands when we see his mercy. When these two desires go together, desire to serve and desire to be molded by his hands, which is actually included in desire to serve, then he will do very fast work on you. You have to allow surgeon to work on you so that he can operate you. So if we can allow him by not making our own plans and stupid ideas, just allow him. He will get you liberated from this world in this lifetime. And we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with us, who is the most merciful incarnation, and Nityanand Prabhu, Advaitacharya. We have whole spiritual world with us. What to fear of? And we just surrender. That's all. That's how it goes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the answer. Prabhuji, do you have time? There is one.
Yeah. Vrinda Gopika is there. Somebody.
Vrinda Gopika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada, I don't have any question. Your lecture is touch to heart and it's useful in day-to-day life. Prabhuji, it's touch to heart that you explained that in the old age, all people are coming, or Vaishnava coming Shridham Vrindavanam, but Srila Prabhupada will come abroad to give a Krishna consciousness in the heart of all Vaishnava. He passed from so many difficulties. It is very hard to give a Krishna consciousness. In India, everybody knows Krishna, but in abroad, nobody knows Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada came to fulfill the desire of his Guru Deva. So our duty, whatever knowledge we have to spread in our language, Hindi, Gujarati, whatever we hear from you, we will spread Krishna consciousness. In this Kali Yuga, Prabhuji, there is no patience to hear whole class, but the summary of class we will share in Hindi and Gujarati. By that way, we will serve our Guru Parampara and Srila Prabhupada, Prabhuji. Koti Dandavat Pranam to your seva. Hare Krishna. And second point you explained, only a half second. Second point you explained about in a Swargaloka there is a Parichatak and so many happiness, and you explained about the mood of goodness, mood of passion, mood of ignorance, and but Vaishnava's desire is to serve Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, Shri Radha Gopinath, and we have to serve, we have to give a prasadam to Vaishnava and non-devotee. By that way, Srila Prabhupada dreams that nobody would hungry up to 10 miles from the temple. So we will serve as Das Dasanudas Prabhuji in abroad, not only ISKCON families Vaishnava, but all over the Srimati Shri Gayatri Rani or Sainath Maharaj or all Shri Shaminarayan Prabhu, there is a one group of 83 Mataji. 2-3 Matajis cooking prasadam, 2-3 Matajis pick up in prasadam, 2-3 Matajis drop the prasadam in downtown homeless Vaishnava.
Okay.
So this is the by that way we will fulfill Srila Prabhupada desire, Prabhuji. It's a teamwork. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, Shri Radha Gopinath ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti Koti
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah, Gail Mataji. Oh, sorry, Varani Mataji.
Yeah, that's okay. When you were explaining Gaudadesh, right? I was wondering, did you include, because I've heard that refers to Bengal. Is that so?
No, actually, Gaudadesh now that refers to Bengal. But previously, whole Bharatvarsh was called as Gaudadesh. Prabhupada explains in the purport to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Gaudadesh was the entire Aryavrat. And then what happened was, with the time period, this Gaudadesh divided into 5 parts, which was called as Panchagaud. So these were the regions of Bihar, Maithili, which is Bihar, and then Rajasthan area, and then and the northern part of MP and Odisha and Bengal. So Panchagaud. So one of the 5 god was Bengal and Odisha, that area. And then so one was Bihar and UP, another third was Punjab and Rajasthan, and then fourth was down Gujarat and Maharashtra and MP types. The fourth and fifth was above this Himachal and Kashmir. This was like Panchagaud in a very broad terms. But what happens? But with the time, everybody forgot this Panchagaud, and then only Bengal and Odisha was called as Gaudadesh. Other parts people forgot, people got degraded, and they got Brahmanas fell down. So by the time 500 years back, when it came to 500 years back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then at that time, only out of 5, 1, Bengal and Odisha, that survived. Other 5, so people fell down, they became like complete nonsense, Malechas type. And here, but in this Gaudadesh, Bengal and Odisha, there was knowledge and Vedic culture still present. And Chaitanya and the headquarters of that Gaud Bengal Desh, that was in Mayapur and Navdeep. And Chaitanya Prabhu was born there as a big scholar. And then he took his movement from there. So that's the history. So God was entire Bharatvarsh, then it became 5 parts, and then 1 part, other lost.
But those other 3 parts,
4.
I mean, no, because you mentioned Orissa was still, right? Orissa and Bengal.
No. Odisha and Bengal was 1. Odisha and Bengal is 1. But see, previously Odisha and Bengal was 1. It was not different. Later, Odisha and Bengal, they separated. But so Odisha and Bengal was one of the Panchagaud. But later that also split into 2. And there were other 4. So the other one was Bihar, Maithili, and second, and the third was like North Himachal and all these Kashmir area. Third, fourth was Punjab and Rajasthan, and fifth was like Gujarat and Maharashtra and MP belt here. So just above Vindhyachal, that is fourth. The other 4.
So when we say that those 4 fell away, because we will, I mean, Varnashram, wasn't it found in all of those?
Before... Yeah, it was there in all of them.
But when we later, say, if they forgot or they went away, what does that actually mean?
No, that actually means that these people, the Brahmanas, got corrupted. They were involved in sense gratification. They fell down and they left their Vedic culture. They were just reading Vedas in the namesake only, and they become cheaters and all this. The whole system got corrupted.
But when Advaita Acharya was desperately calling for Lord Chaitanya's advent, I mean, wasn't it because he couldn't find any kind of Vaishnavism anywhere?
No. Yes. See, Advaita Acharya, he came at that time. So you see, so best out of the rest. That's the whole point. So,
Okay,
in Bengal and Odisha, yeah, there it was the best out of the rest, but there were no Vaishnavas. So that's why Bengal, Odisha, it continued to be called as Gaud. Otherwise, it was in namesake. Otherwise, there are also complete nonsense things were happening. But it was anyway best of the rest. That's all. That's how it went.
Okay, I guess. Okay, Prabhu, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
For time, can I ask one question?
Yeah.
Prabhuji, in case while devotees are working in the temple, some kind of service when management services comes, for Matajis, it's little easier to go in the mood of servant of the servant of servant because they have that nature. But for Prabhuji, sometimes it's a challenge there that they want recognition. They want to say that I did this something. Such kind of things are. It is not possible to come out of such things for Prabhuji's. Is how to see this, and is it a nice idea for a Vaishnava to be in that mood to do the menial services and keep going at even when progressing?
Well, you see, for Prabhuji's, I mean to say, yeah, Mataji are generally in some menial services generally, and they like to do that. Prabhuji's wanted to do management and big services. That's always there. That's a male thing. But it's not necessary that people who are doing menial service, they're humble, and people who are doing big service, they're not humble. That's not the case, by the way. It depends on the consciousness. Sometimes sometimes a person is having ego that I am doing menial service. That's also I'm the most humble. So that's also a trap there. I'm the most humble. So humility doesn't come by really. Humility doesn't mean menial service or big service. That's not humility. Humility is all about fulfilling the desire of Lord and leaving our own desire. If we are humble, that means I understand I'm nonsense, I'm useless. Why should I fulfill my desire? I should fulfill the desire of God. That might be big or small. If that consciousness is maintained, then it doesn't matter whether you're doing big or small service. If that consciousness is not there, then any service is useless. So it's not necessary that if Prabhujis are trying to do big services, then it's really necessarily wrong. It's not even right that anybody who's doing menial service, it's necessarily that he's always right. It doesn't happen. It is all philosophy, it's all understanding of that person and the consciousness with which he's approaching that service. That's how it goes. So there we have to judge by that consciousness. So if a person might be doing menial service, and if his consciousness is, yes, I should fulfill the desire of God and not fulfill my own desire, then as a leader or as a manager, we should actually raise him up and tell him, forget this, do something big for Krishna. This menial service anybody can do, but you want to do, and suppose that person is also having a talent, then you have to raise him up. And on the other hand, if somebody is doing big service and if he's thinking I am doing something big and that and this kind of thing, then we tell, okay, leave it, come to some menial service, otherwise your whole consciousness getting spoiled. So it's to be judged not by the action but by the consciousness. Otherwise we miss the whole point there. Like that.
Thank you.
It becomes clear now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Mostly it's on the conscious level, how deep they are in surrender. That matters. It doesn't matter the externally what they are doing.
Yeah, you're right. And that's what a good leader should have. That eyes. Otherwise he'll do offense, he'll do mismanagement. That we should have eyes to see deep within their heart. A leader should have this quality, otherwise he can't be a good leader.
If someone feels that if I do, I will be doing better, so I should have this position, I should not leave it to others. If the other person does, it won't be the I want
No, that and you're right. That's a very usual trap with everybody. 99.9999% people think if I don't do it, service will be spoiled. So I should hold this service, not for my sake, but for Krishna's sake, you see. So that justification is there. So it doesn't allow others to, so it doesn't allow others to do that service because, and doesn't want to hand over, he or she, because he feels that service will be spoiled. It's not the case. It's not that I want, but that service will be spoiled. That's family. And that's a big trap of illusion, by the way. Because if we die, then somebody else will be good in that service. So then that service will be spoiled for eternity. Am I right? That's the logic that they're trying to approach. Because I'm not there, so that service will be spoiled for eternity. That's absolutely crap. That's a wrong logic. That's even not common sense. So it is said in scriptures, a leader should always try not to hold that service, but try to give that service to others. Rather, it's the opposite. A leader should try to create more leaders. Otherwise, he will fall down. Otherwise, he will have to handle so many things. It will be chaos. And other leaders, and he will develop other leaders when he gives them service. With this catch that there will be some faults in the beginning. Nobody's perfect. So you have to allow that person also to commit mistakes. You have to allow him. And slowly, with time, he will learn and he will take over that service. And if we don't hand over service to others, people under you will also get the same habit and they will also grab the whole thing and it becomes a mess. So nobody advances. You are there on the top and it's just one-man show and one-woman show and it's crazy. So, but people don't hand over the service because service will be spoiled and there'll be mistakes. But the whole problem is service is not important. The servant is important more than service because service, anyway, Krishna doesn't even want the services. Krishna has created a service to help the servant to elevate. Service is created for the servant to become pure. That's a function of service. Otherwise, service is useless. Krishna can do everything. So the servant is more important than service. Then in that case, even if there are some faults in service, it doesn't matter because a servant should elevate and should learn and should advance. That gives us more happiness rather than perfect service. Because of course, anyway, there is no perfect service. There's no 100%. Nobody can do 100%. So, okay, there might be some mistakes in service, no problem. But that servant advances in consciousness and he becomes happy when we give them space and responsibilities and they grow, they become more obliged to you, you see. So it's good for both the parties. And we expect that with time, even the faults in that service that will get corrected. That if it's just some fault, we will train them, we will tell him, and he will learn. So that's the idea. People don't hand over the services because they think service is more important than servant. That's one other thing I want to tell you. But it's completely the reverse. Servant is more important than service. So when you are leading people and managing the whole scenario, people are more important than what they're doing. Because if there's no people, then who will do? Then you're supposed to do everything or what? It's not even practical solution not to hand over. But that happens 99.99%. People just keep on holding. She or will create mess. What will happen? I have to do everything. It's actually crap. It's a nonsense philosophy. That's there.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this in-depth, detailed explanation. It's really helping practically in understanding so many things in the right way. Thank you for your association.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada.
So much, Prabhuji. I'm so sorry. I apologize for the message not reaching you, Prabhuji, and we had to pull you out of the meeting. And you gave instantaneous class right from your heart, and so many things to learn, Prabhuji. We understand that this is how a Vaishnava thinks. So at any point of time when he speaks, that's what comes out. So
Very grateful, Prabhuji. I apologize to all the devotees also for the delay. Sorry, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very wonderful class. Very straightforward. Forward. Everything got clear, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful.
Okay,
Dandavat pranam, Shakastru.
Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe. Vaishnavebhyo Namaha.
Ki jai.
Ki jai.
Ki jai.
Thank you,
Shiva.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Hari Bol.